Did you know there is a secret spoiler for episode 79, and to see it you have to watch one snippet from Monster Up's Skibidi Toilet. The snippet begins with a robot saying that the wall features a still from his favorite show from Mr. Boom. Here's an improved version of that plum, by the way. The first thing that catches your eye is the mech suit of the Skibidi scientist we last saw in episode 77. If you look closely at the upper right corner, you can see strange green interference. Their shape resembles a monitor, though this may just be a visual gaffe. Aside from this video spill, we learned a lot more interesting information about episode 79 and more. Dafuk Boom again shared some details with YouTubers Ibio75 and One More Animator, and also answered a lot of questions on his Discord chat. Well, as we already know, Michael Bay posted the first teaser of the movie based on Skibidi Toilets on his Instagram account. In the post, he mentioned that he's not going to use artificial intelligence in his movies, but he did leave a cryptic clue. You can guess anything. The teaser only shows a destroyed city, so it's pointless to draw conclusions about the plot or details for now, except for the silhouette of Cameraman, and on the left side you can find something like Speakerman's head. If you're interested in the analysis of the teaser, show it with a like and I'll do a separate breakdown about it. I suggest we put the movie topic aside and focus on all the new information from Dafuk Boom. As always, like and subscribe, and here we go. Of course, I couldn't help but show you this spoiler showing the new Astro toilet. By the way, Dafuk also left a negative reaction to the post. Has the simp been forgotten? As we recall, he was a prisoner of Skibidi Toilets in episode 74. And since Dafuk mentioned earlier that he has big plans for Simp Cameraman, we just have to wait for his return. So, question 1.
Boom. Will someone important die in episode 79?
Now the episode gets even more intriguing. At this point, we have a lot of key characters, and judging from the spoilers available, we can highlight the hybrid of Jock and Mafia. They are part of the G Squad, which means they automatically fall into the list of important characters. Also among the important characters is Astro Duchess, who we saw in the Cameraman base. However, I doubt she's the one who will be killed. It's much more likely that Astro the UFO could be killed. For one thing, he's an old character and has already been featured in many key episodes, but more importantly, he's sure to have a conflict with G-Man. And if one of them has to die, it will most likely be Astro UFO. Although, of course, this is just a guess, because Dafuk Boom always gives us something different than we expect. Question 2.
Will someone from the Half-Titan race show up in 79?
The first Half-Titan we saw was Speakerman Executor. It is logical to assume that other races will show their Half-Titans too. In the case of Skibidi Toilets, such a character will be Skibidi Mafia, as Dafuk discounted his gif when asked. The other thing I wonder is what will be their specialty. The regular Titans had a core as their key element, but the Half-Titans will probably have something completely different. It is also quite possible that Cameramen will introduce their Half-Titan as well. Judging by the leaked footage, they're not doing so well right now, and they could use an ally, especially if they still haven't found their Titan. Question 3.
Who will win the fight, or rather, who is stronger still, the Titan TV Man or the Juggernaut?
We've seen this fight before, in episode 77. Back then, as we know, Juggernaut almost killed Titan TV Man, but he was saved at the last moment by G-Man. However, it's worth remembering that at that point, Titan TV Man was already injured after fighting other Astro Toilets. Perhaps if he had been in normal shape, he would have been able to fight back more seriously. Nevertheless, in Dafuk's opinion, Juggernaut is still superior to Titan TV Man, and it's scary to imagine how the Alliance will fight Astro Toilets, considering that Juggernaut is far from the strongest and largest character of his race. Although we should not forget, in battles, it is often not only strength or technology that decides, but also tactics. Question 4.
Can Godzilla defeat the entire Astro fleet?
You mean Monsterverse Godzilla? Absolutely not. Couple obliterators solo it. It loses its main character plot armor magic once it gets ripped from its magic universe into a more realistic one. Godzilla remains strong for humans to handle it, but ultimately loses to many ST characters. There's many ways to defeat Godzilla even in its own canon. It's flesh and skin after all.
In the second part of episode 68, we could see a link on the wall. Clicking on it directed us to a troll/video where Titan TV Man easily handled Godzilla. If he could handle even him in a matter of seconds, what to speak of the entire Astro fleet? The most interesting thing is the reaction of the fandom. After that very troll Slive, Godzilla fans were unhappy with how easily their favorite character was dealt with. Because of this, arguments between fandoms continue to this day. Question 5 is,
Can you tell us about the strength of those Skibidi Kamikaze from episode 65 that flew into Titans?
as we recall, in episode 65, those very same kamikazes did some serious damage to the Titans. Titan Cameraman was especially hurt. His arm was torn off and he was practically incapacitated for a while. Now imagine, if Dafuk compares the power of these kamikazes to a nuclear bomb, what happens if you launch a lot more of them at a single Titan or any other major character? And if the Astro Toilets familiarize themselves with this technology and decide to send some kamikazes to some base, they will leave behind radiation that can at least kill the people sheltering there. The only thing preventing the creation of large numbers of these kamikazes is, of course, lack of resources. The 6th question is,
Boom. Can Kratos defeat the Astro carrier?
for those who don't know, Kratos is the protagonist of the God of War series of games. He is a Spartan warrior. He is about 198 centimeters tall, and in battle he uses mainly the blades of chaos and the axe. At the same time, he has incredible agility and physical strength. However, just look at Astro Carrier, who spectacularly appeared at the end of episode 78. He has a powerful core and 5 huge lasers in his arsenal, 2 of which were originally hidden under protection. His size is also impressive, so it's not surprising that Dafuk confidently states that Kratos is unlikely to defeat the Astro Carrier. Also, someone started an argument about who would win, Doomslayer or Astro Toilet. In response, Dafuk sent a video showing what happens to Doomslayer after a single shot from a regular Astro Ripper. Not to be unsubstantiated, Dafuk also gave his point of view on the matter. In this post, he noted that he doesn't overestimate the characters from Skibidi Toilets, but rather that people themselves underestimate the entire series and its characters. He gave examples from the original game, where Doomslayer is shown to be quite vulnerable, and his strength is greatly exaggerated by fans. At the same time, even the average Astro Ready is able to withstand many shots and blows before dying. Therefore, in Dafuk's opinion, Doomslayer can count himself lucky if he finds himself at least on par with Astro Ready. Dafuk Boom also chatted with one more animator and IBO 75, during which we learned some interesting facts. Reads all questions and answers at once. For those not in the know, Pablo is the unimproved speaker man we glimpsed in episode 78 in his original guise. The most curious thing is his weight. While a normal, unmodernized Chamberlain weighs about 500 to 600 kilograms, Pablo, being made of dense metal, weighs about 10 to 20 tons. That's why he can easily cope with 100 gorillas, because they won't even be able to lift or bite him, but he can kill them with a single blow. This is probably why Pablo will never get an upgrade, because it would be extremely difficult to dismantle him. It would require a tremendous amount of effort, as well as finding a metal as rare and dense as the one he's made of. We also learned that the weight of a normal TV man is about 5 tons. This explains why they need a teleporter. After all, we've never once seen them running or moving quickly. For example, in episode 76, when an entire closet was thrown at one of them, he didn't even move. A regular version 3.0 now weighs about 1.5 tons because of the additional armor installed. And Titans, as it turned out, weigh tens of thousands of tons. However, Skibidi Toilets are not so simple either. They are not made of porcelain or ceramic, as in real life, but are also made of metal, which makes them much more durable and dangerous. In addition to the already known information that the episode is 85% ready and the first part will be about 5 minutes long, EBO 75 managed to find out some more interesting details. If anyone was still doubting whether episode 79 will be split into parts, there is no doubt now. Dafuk has officially confirmed that there will be 2 parts, as his plans for the episode have changed. Mr. Boom seems to be dragging his feet on releasing an episode for a reason, because both parts of 79 are going to be truly epic. Even Dafuk himself admitted that he can't choose which one is better, the first or the second. If we remember the previous episodes, which were divided into parts, the first 2 usually served as an introduction to the third part, where the main plot was already revealed. But the 79th episode will be obviously different. As we remember, earlier Dafuk Boom promised to release the 79th episode in May. But apparently, he doesn't have time to finish it completely, and he doesn't want to deceive the viewers, and maybe that's why he decided to split the episode into parts. Most likely, we'll see part 1 only at the end of the month, and if we're lucky, in about 1 week. Still, we'll immediately see a continuation of the scene from episode 78, where the Armada came under attack from the Astro toilets. We may see 2 battles. In the first part, Astro Toilet's battle against G-Squad and Cameraman, and in the second part, continuation of the battle between Astro Toilets and Armada from episode 78, or vice versa. Also, I think Speakerman the Titan or someone else growing up as Titans will appear at the end of the first part. Perhaps a secret agent or one of his assistants will appear in the episode. It's still unclear what form they'll be in, considering the secret woman agent could take the form of a car, a ficus, or even a chair. So the secret agent and his assistants could have this ability as well. Episode 79 could be one of the most and possibly the most epic episode of the entire series. Most likely, we will see fighters of almost all races, maybe even Titan Speakermen. But the only good news is that we won't have to wait much longer, because the episode is just around the corner. I'm Super Cameraman, good luck to everyone, and bye.